Welcome back to WagerTalk TV. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio today with Ralph Michaels. You can follow him on Twitter at CalSportsLV. And Drew Martin. You can follow Drew at DrewMartinBets. And guys, we've got Cleveland, San Francisco, Monday Night Football. Ralph, you know if we're going to do a Cleveland game, I'm going to start with you. The Browns, I mean, did they win the Super Bowl or something last week that they're on TV every week?
Yeah, you know, this team was 0-16, weren't they, a couple years ago? And three primetime games in the first four is semi-crazy. You know, to me, it's simple. Browns have the better offense. I think Browns have the better defense. But I can't bet the Browns. Marco, you and I watched the Browns game several times. I think Freddie Kitchens is overmatched. I think he was an interim OC last year. Gets named the head coach, names himself the OC. He now has double duties. Now you're playing your third road game in 4 weeks. Now you're having to make these early midseason adjustments. Now you're playing another primetime game on the road. I think that setting is holding the Browns back, to be honest with you. So I think the Browns are the better team. I love the situation. I would grab them. But with Freddie Kitchens as the coach, I can't. And, you know, here's a number for San Francisco. Again, they've only been a home favorite once this year. It was a game they dominated, Pittsburgh, but they were, 5 turnovers, then they were -3 turnovers in the game. San Fran is 1-14-2 their last 17 games as a home favorite. So they've covered one game as a home favorite the last 3+ years. But again, a new season. Pittsburgh was the only game this year. But again, that's how much I think Freddie Kitchens will become overmatched as the season progresses, trying to do double duty as a new coach.
Drew, as we look at the San Francisco side of things, as he mentioned the Pittsburgh game, they won but didn't cover that game. They had a ton of turnovers in that game, San Francisco. They kept shooting themselves in the foot, let Pittsburgh in the game, and ironically got the win because Pittsburgh, trying to run out the clock, James Conner fumbles the football. Not happy camper was I watching that game, and let the 49ers get the go-ahead score and win the game. But you know I'm a situational guy, and I'm going to ask you, we talked about Cleveland. That was the biggest win for Cleveland, I think, in the biggest win was them after they lost the 16 games in a row, finally getting that win.
First road win, I think, was the biggest deal.
And getting it against the Jets and Baker Mayfield, coming out. Now, last week, that was it's impossible to say or funny to say in week 4. If Baltimore wins that game last week, they have a stranglehold on the division.
Right.
But now Cleveland in 1 week they've got their own.
They're first place.
They're first place with the tiebreaker, control their own destiny, and now they got to travel to San Francisco off of that big win.
Right, and actually that was a great stat, Ralph, in terms of the 1-14-2. I'm going more off of this year though, because I am more.
And that's
on the
why I said it
side.
with after the fact, because again it's multiple years in the past, but it's worth noting just as a selling point.
Sure. In Cleveland, getting a lot of the marquee matchups here, Marco. A lot of TV games, and I just kind of think Baker Mayfield coming from college, I don't really like his profile of course. I think he's a little bit overrated. I really do. I'm not looking to be betting more on Baker Mayfield. I'd actually give the edge towards San Francisco in terms of the quarterback position, plus being off of a bye 3-0 this year, and the fact that they've beat the spread, the closing spread by 36 points year to date. They've done very well. ATS, they did have the one loss, but overall I do think San Francisco is still underrated in the betting market. So I'm with the 49ers here.
Ironically, the two most hyped teams the last 2 years, you go back 2 years, the entire offseason, it was all San Francisco, Jimmy G, because of the way they finished and won those last 5 games at the end of the season, all that hype train, and then he gets hurt last year. Now, coming into this season, it was the Browns. How funny would it be if these two teams would end up in the Super Bowl, the hype machines of 2018 and 19 meeting up? Could this be a Super Bowl preview?
I think San Francisco's was a year early 2 years ago. I think the Browns is a year early for the Browns this year, and I think that's what happens. People get so enthralled with them, then they get put in these weird scheduling spots. It's difficult for a young team learning how to win to be put in those spots.
All right, great stuff, guys. Hey, Don't forget, guys, $2 Tuesday. Every Tuesday, get the hottest handicapper's best bet for just $2. This is available both at WagerTalk.com and our sister site, SportsMemo.com. We're going to be back with more here on WagerTalk TV.